Hi guys, it's Robin here from Kadosh Naturals, and if you guys been following my channel and watching my videos and partaking in my Facebook, you will notice that I've not only been talking about how to overcome physical pain in the body, I've also been talking about emotional pain. Okay. Now, this seems to be a topic that is rarely discussed. So I am compelled to discuss this topic with each of you. And if you are receptive to actually learning a different, healthier way to cope and overcome emotional pain, I'm here to share my insight and input. Okay, I want to start off by saying this. All human beings need some form of things that is therapeutic, meaning therapy, and all human beings need some form of a coping mechanism, because there are life situations and storms that each of us have to go through in life, so we need an outlet or a gateway. If we do not learn how to channel our energy appropriately, it affects our inner being, our inner self. And when your inner self is affected, it affects your character. So, if you want to learn how to gain that internal peace, how to heal from emotional pain, I'll give you a few tips. Okay. The first thing that you want to do is find a healthy coping mechanism. There are various different coping mechanisms, and today's society is really fond on drinking, eating bad foods, and also smoking, because these things have an opiate-like effect on our brain and helps us cope or deal with it. What it does is it affects the frontal lobe of the brain. This is the feel-good section. And so when we partake and indulge in these things, we feel a high or a sense of euphoria. What you also need for your emotional pain is you need your clarity, okay? Because when you do not have your clarity, a lot of times we don't perceive things appropriately. Basically, we perceive things out of the abundance or out of the eyeglass of our emotional pain, and which is very, very unhealthy. So when we look at things from out of the eyeglass of our emotional pain, we don't have the clarity we need to properly assess. Okay? So some forms of fog may include alcohol, drugs, prescription pain pills, eating a lot of bad processed foods, because these things are great temporary fixes, but we must also identify the root cause. Okay? A lot of times when you see people dealing with emotional pain, they typically run from themselves. Running from yourself does not allow you to strengthen. What I mean by that is, when you sit down and assess what's going on, yes, it may be painful during the process, but over time you'll learn that you're strengthened. But if anytime you go through something and it hurts and you run from yourself, or if you run to another person, you're not allowing yourself to have enough time to strengthen. It is so imperative that we learn how to find a safe haven and address the internal things that we're going through and put these things in perspective. Drugs, alcohol, marijuana, bad foods are simply unhealthy ways to mask the symptoms. Be mindful that the healing process takes time. Did you know that the emotional pain that you have did not happen overnight? Usually when things happen once to us, we can easily snap back. But a lot of the pain that we go through are years and years of pain, of just enduring family, work environments, and life circumstance. So it takes time. If the pain did not happen overnight, sometimes it takes time. Healing takes time. Some things can be healed overnight, but some things needs a process. Always be mindful. We live in an instantaneous society. Everybody wants a quick fix all the time. But some things cannot be quickly fixed. It takes time. It takes a purging. You want to also channel negative emotions by thinking happy thoughts. Each of us have undergone some type of emotional pain or emotional abuse. Anytime somebody has looked at you in a negative way or cursed you out, these are forms of negative abuse. So one must say, okay, how do I keep my sanity and keep my character pure? The first thing you want to do is put these things in perspective. Always remember, hurting people hurt others, okay? So, in an instance where someone is hurting or if they're going through something personal in their love life, the first reaction is to persecute or penetrate you or someone else. And when we're persecuting and penetrating others, guess what? We've transferred over that hate and that emotional abuse. So what you want to do is when somebody persecutes you, you overcome it by being kind, operating above the level of your circumstance, operate above them. Okay? Understand that there's something wrong with them and there's nothing wrong with you. The minute you engage and you take it personal, now they've drawn you in and they've won. Now you have been adversely affected by someone else who is hurting. Okay? Let's learn how to use reverse psychology when we're dealing with emotional pain. Because the goal is for that person is to bring everybody down along with them. Just be mindful that their tactics will not work if you understand their tactics. Okay? Think happy thoughts. Love and forgive. And if you are in a position, give to that person who has done you wrong or who has hurt you. Okay? And then blow them out the water. Okay, when you are healing, these are some of the symptoms that we go through. We develop certain sensitivities, okay? Because if something that you are going through and somebody does something to you that will make you go back to that space and place of hurt and pain, and you become sensitive, that means that the healing process is still taking place. Okay? Because when we're fully healed, you're strengthened and those things no longer affect you. That is to be fully healed. Okay? And if many of you who are watching this is still recapping on things that you've gone through in your childhood, you are still in counseling, you are still in therapy, these are things that you have not healed from. Okay? So in this segment, I'm teaching you how to emotionally heal. I'm talking about full recovery. Because a lot of times when I give counsel, you see a lot of people, they blame their outer environment, they blame their mother, they blame their family, their friends, and yes, this was inevitable. But you have to get to a space and time in your life of maturity and put life in perspective, whereas you should no longer be dwelling on the things in your childhood because now you are a full-blown adult. Okay? I know it's easier said than done, But this is why you have counselors out here and therapy to help put things in perspective. What you'll find is the underlying identifying issue is us. Because some situations and circumstances say, hey Ariana, we have no control over. Okay? But we can't control our reaction. And we can't control how we put things in perspective. Okay? Say hi Ariana. This is my daughter Ariana, and she likes to interrupt my vlogs. So be patient. When you are healing, guess what? We still have to go to work. We still have to be around family. We still have to be around friends, all in the hurting process. And guess what? We must put life, work, and family into perspective. Always be mindful of this. Just because you are healed does not mean that the people around you are healed. So when you go into environments, you must understand this, because there is toxicity everywhere. It's unavoidable, because there are people who do not think that there's anything wrong with them, and you have people who don't want help. So this message is for someone that possibly want help, because these methods do work. One must learn that the first thing that we must identify from an internal perspective in healing is our character, our nature. When you smile more and you learn to love and give hugs and kisses, be more affectionate, that weight is lifted, because laughter and things of that nature, it brings joy to our bones. Okay? So I hope you find this message and this blog to be useful. As I've expressed, here at Kadosh Naturals, we do not only sell pain relief products, shampoos, and body washes, we also give you an education. This segment of Kadosh Naturals, we are talking about overcoming emotional pain. Please visit me at www.kadoshnaturals.com if you would like to possibly purchase some of our plant-based items. Thank you and have a great day.